Welcome to
Marriage Pinnacle's Chats from the Peak,
where God's favorites link up.
My name is Dr. Lara.
And I'm Emmy.
And this is Chats from the Peak. It's Valentine's Day, y'all.
It's lover season.
It's all of the things. You might have been at a Galentine's, a Valentine's, I don't want a man, I don't want a girl, whatever. But it's lover season, you guys, and Marriage Pinnacle, we celebrating Valentine's Day. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So a little bit about Marriage Pinnacle. We are a platform that discusses healthy relationships, marriage, and everything in between. And on here on Chats from the Peak, we do it from a cultural lens, a clinical lens, and a little bit of life experience. So we ask that you hit that notification bell so that you can be locked in when we drop new episodes and stay connected to our Peak Seeker community. So as I said, it's Valentine's Day. So shout out to all of the lovers. And, how are you celebrating Valentine's Day? Do you know?
I am going to be at Bond with Me.
Yes. 007. So actually, by the time this episode drops, you might still be able to get tickets, but Marriage Pinnacle, we're going to be collaborating with FTK Events for a really glam, over the top, all of the things. This is the 9th year that this Bond with Me 007 has been in production. And so Marriage Pinnacle, we're collaborators this year. And so if you are in the DMV and you're looking for something to do on Valentine's Day, you should join us.
Join us. Yes. It's going to be a good time, for sure.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. So, Mams, what you got for the chokehold for today?
So, this one, the chokehold today really had us shook. It had a lot of us shook. Yeah. So we are going to be talking about Cheryl Lee Ralph. Yeah. Most of y'all know her as Moesha's stepmom D, and even more recent, she is Barbara on Abbott Elementary. Yeah. So just if you don't know, obsessed with her. So she was doing an interview
for People
magazine, and she was talking about, and I feel like she's talked about it in the past, but this one made its rounds again. And she was saying how her husband of 20 years and her have lived apart her entire marriage. So that is 20 years of living apart. And so when we say live apart, y'all might think like, oh, just hop in the car and spend a week. She lives in LA, in Hollywood, where she works. And he lives in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on the East Coast, where he is a senator.
East Coast.
A state senator.
Yeah, he's a senator.
And so they both have amazing careers, right? They're both very busy, and they're both really grown. They're in their 60s. So when this was making this round, people were like, oh, that could never be me.
I could never.
And this one, I'm one of them. I could literally never. But she went on to say how it's worked for them. Yeah. And she was just kind of like, well, I mean, it works for us. Yeah. She said some of y'all can't make it past 5 years.
When she said 2. Or she might have said 2. Oh, she might have said 5. I don't know. But the shading, and she said,
she gagged the girls. She was like, yeah, don't come over here talking nothing about us.
She said, what we got going on here is good.
It works.
And it works.
It works.
Get to 20 years and then come holler at me. That's pretty much what she said.
And I love it for them. But Laura, how do you feel? Because you had a little bit of long distance in the beginning of your marriage.
So
you talked about that.
I did. So we did long distance for the first 3 years, almost 3 years of our marriage, right? And that was out of necessity.
Right.
It was necessity. Right. But I guess I can draw parallels in that, like, career-wise.
Yes.
Like,
it was career.
Yeah. So, like, I was, finishing up my doctoral internship and residency until I was full-fledged working. Do you know what I mean? And so we tried in terms of like applying where I could apply to, but there were really no locations where he was in Michigan. And then it would be really unfair for me to say, well, just come to Philly, even though low key, that's what I wanted him to do. But I digress. For him to come to Philly when he had like an established career, he was, building his name and his company and things like that. And so we were like, okay, we're going to do this. And so one thing that I think I don't know if you're going to get to it. One thing that Cheryl Lee Ralph said was that they see each other every other week or
every other week. I think she said every other week, twice a month.
They got money.
Yeah, they can afford it.
Let's talk about that.
That is a luxury.
That is not, even if it is at the top of your list as a priority, we got to see each other, it's still not always like financially feasible. Yeah. Right? Yeah. When you don't have money and access. Yeah. Right? So like for my prime example, myself and Tola was like, the best I can give you is every month.
Yeah.
And that was what it was.
Yeah.
So once a month, I had to manipulate to make sure, things was, and it was once a month. And that was just that on that. And it wasn't any more than that.
Yeah.
But like them, they have the luxury, like, okay, I'm gonna see you next. I'm gonna see pretty much.
I'm gonna see you in a couple weeks.
I'm gonna see you in a week. And so I do understand that regular, being able to see each other, because it was difficult for us. Like that time apart, it was tough.
Yeah.
And I think because we were new in marriage, we were still very much operating as like our own entities, as opposed to being like married.
Right.
So for me, out of necessity, we did it.
Yeah.
But
wasn't
about to be.
Highly do not recommend.
It wasn't about to be the whole marriage. Absolutely not.
But I think
there would be no marriage pinnacle if myself and Tola lived apart. I promise you. No.
There would be no marriage pinnacle.
There would be no marriage pinnacle because
where the pinnacle?
Where the pinnacle? Pinnacle where?
We still at the base. We still at the ground level.
We might even be in a valley, baby girl. Like, there's no way. There's absolutely no way that there would have been.
But I think, like, for them, I just feel like it's hard to, like, commit to something like that when you were in your 20s, right? So it's like you still have this, like, idea of what marriage is supposed to be. They were in their 40s. So I feel like there's a completely different mindset going into that.
Agreed.
There's an identity that these people had already developed. With him being a senator, with her being an actress.
So I feel like it is. I still feel like it's out of necessity that they're doing this.
Yes.
Like, we're going to make this work because we understand. Like, the thing is, me and Tola could have been like, we could have said the same thing. We could have been like, we're gonna make. We did. We had to make it work. And
so, Laura, but sorry to interrupt, because when you say necessity, I feel like they already knew before they got married that they were
never gonna be moving together. Yeah. Right. So it's different.
So it's more than necessity. It's more like they've still made a choice.
They've made a choice.
Correct. Like we're choosing this style and we're gonna make it work.
We're gonna make
it work. Like, it's unconventional and it's weird to some, but for us, we're gonna make it work.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah. And for us, like,
for y'all, it was just temporary. It started off temporary.
But then through it, I was like, this cannot be sustainable. Because
you were like, this is actually too long.
This is not healthy. Yeah. It was not healthy for us. And I think it's because, I've shared this on the podcast before, like, we were long distance our whole relationship, but we've known each other. We've been friends. And even saying friends is kind of like not really even the real, like, his sister and I were friends.
Got you.
Do you know what I'm saying? His sister and I had a friendship, a relationship. We spoke, even though we didn't go to the same school or whatever. Myself and Tola were like friends,
acquaintances.
We were acquaintances.
Got you. Yeah.
So, like, everything I learned about Tola, I learned when we were dating. Like, I just knew Tola was quiet.
Yeah.
I knew that because his sisters are not quiet. Yeah. And he is the quiet one.
He's a quiet sibling.
So, like, stuff like that I knew at, like, the surface level. And I knew he was a good guy.
Yeah.
But that was about it. So, coming into a marriage and then not really having a solid, like, we had a solid foundation. I don't want to say that, but I feel
understanding
of
each other. Yeah,
I don't think it would not have been good for us to be doing long. Nah.
Yeah, because there would be no
dependence on one another.
Yeah, do you need that time to kind of get to know each other?
Yeah, so nah.
Yeah.
What are you? I mean, you said no already.
Girl, you know me. I gotta be up, under, around, in, and through my man. So no.
You carrying a piece of him with you?
Name on the necklace and everything.
Always. I gotta keep a piece of him with me.
Always. And he might be fine. Like, yeah, you can go get your own house. That's cool. I come see you on the weekends, and I'll be like, yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Absolutely
not happening. Absolutely not. No. I'm terrible. Yeah. We did long distance for a year, and I thought I was gonna die.
Oh my gosh, Mammy.
Yeah. And the long distance was Baltimore to St. Mary's County. It was
still a little hike.
It was a 2-hour car ride.
It's a little hike.
And I was supposed to see him like, every month, like every once a month. I was at Morgan State every day, every weekend, Friday to Sunday. Sometimes I wouldn't come.
You wouldn't even go to work.
My mom would think that I'm back in. My mom would think that I'm back at St. Mary's County. I would still be there in the morning and then come back on Monday and go straight to work. Pressed. So long distance,
Absolutely
big
not.
press, never
gonna happen.
Never. I love it for her, love it for them, love it for people, love it for the people that it works for.
Yeah.
But I'm way too needy, clingy.
Look, I need my man up under me.
Yeah, quality time is my love language and physical touch. So we not doing that.
That's long distance. Like a no.
Yeah.
But I do, and the thing is, it's crazy because people hear her story and think it's like so. A lot of couples do this.
Really?
Yeah. Think about like Nigerian couples where the dad lives in lives in Nigeria and then the mom is here with the kids. Like,
or UK.
I mean, that happens a lot. I know it was reversed for Tola's parents. Like Tola's mom was in Nigeria for a bit, and then
dad was
my
here.
father-in-law was here.
I didn't know
people
that.
do it a lot. And
it's actually, to me, when you put it that way, that's actually very true.
Yeah, a lot of couples
But when you think about parents and stuff, like our culture, just because of that whole just take the kids over to America.
But I feel like it's still necessity though.
Yeah, that is definitely necessity. That one is definitely a necessity.
Which I think, like you said about this, is different because again, she had children, and like I don't know if he has any children of his own, but like, she didn't mention. But I think it still goes to like we made this choice. Like,
yes,
I am not telling you to move to Philly,
correct,
and you are not telling me to move to Hollywood, and we're gonna make this work.
Yeah, and which I still find that piece amazing because so many people like. I watch Pop the Balloon, y'all. I love that show. But people come on Pop the Balloon. Pop the Balloon is based in Arizona. So people will come from like the DMV or come from like Atlanta and then pop the balloon on someone that lives in Arizona or lives in like California and be like, oh, I can't do long distance. So they don't even broach the conversation. Yeah, they don't even have the give it a chance at all. Mm-hmm. But so for them to be so like, well, I'm established, you're established, and we can still make this work. Like there must be like a super strong bond or something that they really, really liked about each other to want to commit to that. Yeah. Because people won't even, like, I'm telling you on this dating show, like, they'll just pop. They'll be like, oh, no, sorry, I can't do that. So people won't even go that far. They won't even
go that far.
Yeah. So for you to go into it knowing that.
I mean, like, it is difficult. Not being able to have somebody in the same vicinity as you. And then literally you're having to use these opportunities that you do see each other to get to know and like everything. Figure out what's happening. Like, how do you handle conflict in person? Yeah. How do you, like, you're having to do these on these, like, very short durations of time. So like
you walk away during a fight? I didn't know that. How would you know that?
How would you know that when we're on the phone and I'm like, I gotta go.
And I just hang up.
And I get off the phone. Talking from experience.
Or I'd be like this. Bad service
I gotta
is bad.
It's bad service. I'm gonna call you later. You know what I mean? And like that is, I feel like that is how couples were doing it before. Yeah. Like when you're long distance. But again, I think that if it works for them, I'm happy. And like I said, people do it. So it's not unheard of, but it is just something I think that because it's making its rounds right now, it is something that we could, it was something interesting to talk about.
Yeah. So, and especially with our topic today, our topic is romance. So if you are living long distance, you have to be extremely intentional about the romance, about the intention, about how your partner is feeling. So that is what we're getting into today because it is Valentine's Day, and every year this conversation comes around of, is Valentine's Day every day? Because they will tell you like, oh, I don't celebrate Valentine's Day because every day is Valentine's Day.
To who?
To who?
To who?
Lara, is Valentine's Day every day to you?
So you're asking me the question? Absolutely not. Valentine's Day is not every day. And I'm being...
Not a bee.
It is not.
Sorry.
You see any roses?
I don't see any roses.
Anywhere? You see any roses anywhere?
Not
I'm just, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not telling, it doesn't need to be.
Yes, agreed.
You know what I mean? I'm not telling you need to have.
Yes, I got you.
Because Valentine's Day is not every day.
Coming.
I don't, because Valentine's Day is not every day. I don't expect
you don't expect
roses
it. Correct.
Like if you want to surprise me every night, sure.
Yeah, correct.
But because Valentine's Day is not every day, I don't see no roses because Valentine's Day is not every day.
But the day it comes.
But the day it is Valentine's Day,
let's make it work. So brothers, sisters, this is Valentine's Day is very close. So don't play.
Mammy, and I say the same thing to the women. I say the same thing to the women too, though, because I feel like women be trying it a little bit. You this one over here, I don't even know if the word is feminist, womanist, whatever. This one right here, if it had to do with women, this one is just not too much on the women.
Not too much on my sisters.
However, ladies, your sex is not the gift. I'ma say it. It's me. I'm the gift. I'm the gift. No, baby. No, baby. You're not.
It's part of a gift.
It's part of the gift. But you are not the gift. So Valentine's Day is not every day. Your sex every day. What's the new thing for Valentine's Day then?
Or you can ramp it up. Like,
it's still not the gift for sure. Ramp it up though. You should take it to the next level.
Add some sauce on it.
Sprinkle a little razzle dazzle.
You know what I'm saying? Get a little something.
Yeah, like a little black, like something splash.
Make it special. Make it different. And then it could be. Then can it be the gift?
No,
still not.
An addendum.
Still not.
No, still not. Still not. Like,
I tried to help y'all, ladies.
It could be an addendum to the gift, but no,
not the whole thing.
So ladies, it's the challenge for us. If you're gonna get your guys something for Valentine's Day, spice it up a little bit.
Spice it up. Take it to the next level.
Do
get some lingerie.
You know, wear a set or something.
Do something.
Don't just do that position. Do something different. Period.
Kama Sutra, look it up.
Look something.
Try something new.
Just try something new. Yeah, that's all we're gonna say about that.
Different angle.
Yeah. Don't tap something out. He likes. Don't be lazy.
Exercise the jaws, right?
All of that. Let's be real here.
Then comment below and tell us thank you, because we're trying to help y'all.
We're trying to help you guys. But yeah, so I am a firm believer that women, us too, we gotta step it up as well. But Valentine's Day is not every day. So let's get that myth. Let's
put it to rest.
Let's put it to bed.
Put it to rest. And we're joking, but all in all, like, what is our whole purpose here? Yeah. Making marriages better, making marriages healthy, trying to get everyone to pour into your relationship so that it can flourish, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So this is one day out the year that is created. Y'all can say it's a commercial holiday, whatever. Yes, sure, it's commercial. Cool. Take the opportunity to love on one another.
Yes.
Take the time. Like, life is so busy. We're going up, we're going down, we're going sideways. The kids are pulling us here. It's one day out of 365 or 366. Yeah. And you can just take time out for yourself. You don't even have to do too much. Like, whatever your partner likes.
Do too much. Okay?
On the side of much.
Please. This is the day, right? If you can't do it no other day, do it on Valentine's Day, do it on a birthday.
She's right.
And your anniversary. Like, those are like the 3 days to me.
What are the days? Say them again.
Birthday, anniversary, Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Like, go all out.
Yeah.
This is a time.
That's good. That's true.
What I mean?
That's true.
We're not asking, at least me, I'm not one of the people that need it. Like, and y'all, we done did the love, the love languages episode. Like, mine's is gifts.
Hers is gifts.
You know what I mean? And I'm not saying, like, give me gifts every day. But on those days, make an effort.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
I feel that. Agreed. I agree. And like you say, on both sides, make an effort.
Make it special. Absolutely on both sides.
Yeah.
Absolutely on both sides. Absolutely.
Make it special. Because I feel like a lot of times, especially women, we get in our soft girl era, soft girl life, and we kind of feel like, oh, Valentine's Day is his turn to spoil me. And we talk about this in another episode, and where it's like, you have to sort of be an example of what you want.
Absolutely.
Right? So it's like, if you want these things, if you want nice things, if you want to be showered, you want to be spoiled, try doing it first, so that you set that culture in your marriage and your relationship. You set that tone in your relationship so that they know, like, okay, this is the vibe. This is the vibe. These are the vibes.
Gotta match the energy,
and we gotta maintain the vibe.
Absolutely.
100%. And so that's how we feel about that. Valentine's Day is not every day. So make it special. Make it special.
But Memi, why is it important to, like, put in the extra effort?
Because I just feel like we talk about this a lot. But it's like, life can really, really tear you up. And it can really tear up your marriage. It can really tear up your relationship, your connection. Just all those things are so vulnerable. And I feel like we don't look at it as being something that is vulnerable. like we don't look at our relationships or our connection as a muscle that needs to be worked out, or it will atrophy. It will dissipate. Yeah. So it's like, yeah, I like how you change that. Like, no, go all out. Like, I was saying, don't have to be too much. Like, just go to dinner. And it's like, no, do more. And that's a really good adjustment to it, because it is, yeah, you don't have a lot of opportunities unless you are someone that is just naturally. There's some people that are naturally romantic.
Yes, there are.
And it comes, and it's so easy for them. Like, we're joking about it's not always Valentine's Day, but it is some people that do have that atmosphere in their marriages or their relationships where it is, this holiday is just another day to them, because it does feel like every day is Valentine's
Day for me.
And that is true. I don't think it's a majority.
It is not the majority. I can beat my chest and say it's not the majority. It's not.
But I do think there are exceptions. I know we talked about her before, absolutely. But there's a queen bee where her husband sends her florals every week. And that has just been since the day they met. And it's going on, I think they got married before me. So like years and years. So it's like there are some marriages that you can look at and be like, okay, they do have that atmosphere of romance in their home. But I feel like for majority of people, you get bogged down by life, you get bogged down by responsibilities. We have work, we have businesses, we have family, other like mom, dad, other family responsibilities, and you just don't. Like, me and Dapo, actually, we were literally I was looking at him yesterday, and I'm like, babe, we didn't really talk this week. Yeah. And he was like, I know, we didn't. And I'm just like, yeah, like I didn't. Yeah. We both work from home, but it was literally like, I'm done with work. I'm either have a meeting with you or a meeting with Marianne, or and he's taking Daya to basketball. Right. We have a basketball game. It was a crazy week. And I was just like, dang, like we didn't connect. We didn't, so it's like, okay, so I said that and I put it out there, but I didn't do anything about it. I just said like, babe, we didn't talk this week. And it's like, but yesterday on the way home, I tried to call him and so we could talk. Yeah, and like, we kept talking when we got home. And it's like, we're home on Sunday, so I'm going to try to make a point to make sure that we like are in the same room, we do something together. Because it's like, if you don't, and that's happened to us before, like where it's like we get in that we don't talk and weeks
go by and you don't even realize it.
And you don't realize.
It's like you are talking, but you're not talking about, like, you're not being intentional about what you're talking about. You're talking about the kids.
We're not connecting.
You're not connecting. That's good.
Yeah,
that's really
you're not connecting.
Yeah. Okay, so Memi, obviously we are agreeing everybody need to do better, all of the things, right? But what is romance?
Great question. Because I feel like a lot of times we talk about romance and people think, oh, it's just buying flowers. Oh, it's just, taking me out. Yeah. And it's like, it's an actual like posture, right? It's an actual like,
it's a posture.
It's a culture that you create, right? So what the dictionary says, Webster, that's what it's called. Webster says, it is to try to influence or curry favor with, especially by lavishing personal attention, gifts, or flattery. So this is basically the love languages, right? Attention, which is like affirmation, quality time, gifts for some people, or flattery, words of affirmation. And then the other one is to carry on a love affair with, which I thought was funny. But I also feel like, okay, that is what they kind of say it is, right? Just kind of like being... You're going out of your way to try to get this person to know that I'm interested in you, or I care about you, or I love you, or you mean the world to me. And you're showing it through actions. I feel like that's kind of a way to sort of make that definition more practical. I'm letting you see and knowing that I care about you. You mean the world to me. I love you. I wouldn't be able to do this without you. Like just that affirmation, reaffirming of your marriage and your relationship. That's good. So like, what is romance to you?
As you were talking about the definition, I did realize or recognize that the love languages do provide a source of presenting romance, right? And so I feel like for me, and what I also recognize is that romance looks different in different seasons. What I thought was really important, again, like even like I recognize that love, like gifts are my love language. I also recognize that just because I don't receive them doesn't mean I'm not loved, right? Which I did have to reconcile.
So that's mature.
Yeah, I had to reconcile that because I did associate not receiving a gift as not being loved, right? But I also recognize like certain seasons just don't call for that. But I can recognize, am I being loved in different ways, right? So what I will say about romance is that it's the intentional, and I feel like maybe, I don't know if intentional is going to be our buzzword. It's our buzzword for the year.
We say intentionality so much.
It's crazy, but I do feel like it's that intentional care that is provided to another person. It's intentional, individualized care towards another person, right? And what I mean by that is just that it's not given to everybody, right? So like, yes, I might give attention to somebody, but what is given to me is personal for me, and it's what I need.
Yeah.
And again, just coming in, being, I guess, in coming to be more mature, I recognize that my husband provides romance to me in different ways. However, let's be clear. Yeah. You do all the things. You take care of I get
pay
that.
the bills.
But individual, personalized, meaning it's just about me.
Yeah.
Meaning it's not about the kids.
Correct.
Not about our house.
Get them out of here.
It's none of that. It's about me.
Yeah.
And you're paying close attention to me and my needs. Yes, please pay our bills.
Yeah. Don't stop that.
Don't not do that. However, it's not, I can understand that you might not be able to be as romantic as you want to be.
Right.
But the effort's still out there.
You still want to see it. Which I think is valid. I mean, I don't think that's asking too much. I feel like that's exactly what you should expect.
Yeah. So I feel like, to me, it's all of those things, and it's that intentionality, I think, is just, I think I can't stay away from it. I can't leave it because it is like, okay, I did this for you to make you happy in whatever regard, to show that I love you, that show that I care about you, just show that you're important to me. I did these things. And like I said, it can be expressed through your love languages, but not always.
Not always. And I think for me, even though love language is not my gifts, I kind of fell under that, that like, I would say like movie.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like that Hollywood. Oh,
yeah, they be getting you.
You know, that Hollywood idea of romance. So to me, romance was the rose petals, the flowers, the gifts, the like the outward kind of material expressions of romance. Yeah. Like, I'll hear some people say, "Oh, my husband is so romantic, girl. Like, if I cook, he'll do the dishes." I'm like, is that romantic?
Romantic, you say?
Like I don't know if romantic is the right word, you know, because in my mind, I'm not thinking of that as something romantic, but based on our definition, that can be romantic. That can be romantic, right? Because it shows that care, it shows that love, it shows that attention to, and you know, an appreciation for the person, for your partner, you know, so it can be romantic. And so
she rolled her eyes, it can be.
I can be.
For some people, not for me, but it can be.
I'm not gonna say that, you know.
Not my jam. I mean, help me with the dishes, sure, but it's romantic. It's being helpful.
Yeah, I just didn't grow up like that. It's called a partnership. It's called you put the dishes there as well, you know.
You added to the plate, so we're in the sink, so we're equally putting
you know what I'm saying? You know, we're all different. That's the beauty of the world, right? But I just didn't grow up like that. I didn't grow up. My dad was always very like a part of the home. When my dad was very domestic as well, so I never grew. I just thought that was I just feel stuff like that as normal. Yeah, wow. But so we're talking about romance, and y'all might say, if I need help, how do I become more romantic? Yeah. So we have 4 ways, relationship gems, takeaways that you guys can keep the romance alive. Yeah. So the number 1 way is be spontaneous, That's being unpredictable.
Mm-hmm.
That's doing something that your partner may or may not expect. So that can be surprises. That can be just trying new like a new date idea, like go skydiving at the iFly or something. Fake skydiving. Not real skydiving, child. But like
I did that. It's like sometimes I'm like, why did I do that? Like, who told me to jump out of a plane?
Wait, what? You did real skydiving?
Yes.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did.
Where the heck was I?
Yeah.
When was that?
About it. I didn't have kids. That's what I'm saying. Like, you think about some things.
Wait, but when? No, for real.
2012, I jumped out of a plane. I still can't believe I did that. I'm like, you have feet on the ground. You want to go up in the air to jump out.
That's on Dafo's bucket list. Like, that's huge on his bucket list. And I'm just like, yeah, bro. I don't know about that, my bro. I feel like that ship has sailed. But
yeah.
No, but he wants to do it.
Yeah. But yeah, I digress. Sorry.
No, but now we're here. I have questions. I'll ask you off camera. Because what?
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, be spontaneous. Step out the box. Yeah. Try to do something that your partner would not expect. Sweep them off their feet.
Let me just so let's say you do give flowers once a month. Spontaneous is like, okay, I'm not going to get you flowers. I'm going to
do something else.
I'm going to do something else. Yeah, I'm going to get you a basket. I'm going to get you like edible arrangements.
Yeah.
Something different we say spontaneous. So it's like spontaneous doesn't need to break the bank or things like that. It can but it's something outside of your norm.
Yeah.
Outside of predictable is what we're trying to
really
say.
If your date night every month, like, because we're big components of date night. So if y'all been listening, y'all got your monthly date night going. So if your date night every month is like, oh, we're going to try a new restaurant. Maybe you guys love food, right? Yeah. So we're just doing a restaurant tour in DC. So spontaneous would be like, babe, for Valentine's Day, let's do something else. Yeah. Let's go here, or let's do that, or let's switch it up, just so we're not doing the same thing. Like, I feel like to feel that romance, the purpose is that showing like, okay, you care enough so that it doesn't get stale, so that we don't get boring. So you're trying to keep it, switch it up.
Yeah. And then our second is be creative.
Yeah.
Right. And so this goes hand in hand with spontaneity, right? Be creative. Like, it doesn't have to just be dinner and a movie.
Correct.
Dinner and this. It can be an experience. And so a lot of times, guys, girls, whoever might think, well, okay, then you just spend all this money. No, there are ways to be creative. You can cook. If you've never cooked, I mean, not to say that you want to go experimenting and doing crazy things and stuff like that, but if you've never cooked, you can get a good recipe and make dinner and make it nice. Like, you can say, okay, I'm gonna have the kids stay over the neighbor's house or whatever the case may be, and I'm gonna do a meal at home. If you don't have the money to do, let's just say you don't have the funds, right? Yeah. We love steak. I'm going to go get a nice steak, and I'm going to
learn how to fry it up.
Yeah. And I'm going to, and I'm going to do a table setting. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Be creative. It doesn't have to just be the dinner and the movie or the basic. Correct. It can be something. Okay, instead of us doing a dinner, we can do a dinner experience.
Yeah, I like that.
Where it's like, they have where the chefs come cook at the table, or chef's table, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
Or if you're not able to, like, we do month date night. I mean, we do dinners once a month. I'm going to save up my money for a really, really nice experience.
Nice dinner, right?
You know what I mean?
10
course or whatever. So
Michelin star.
I feel like that creativity, there are so many different things that you can do. Like, instead of saying we're going to do dinner, you can plan a day. Like, Valentine's is on a Friday this year. Mm-hmm. And so, okay, maybe cut the workday a little early and say, all right, babe, at this time, be ready for this. Something spontaneous.
Yeah. And then they even have those things that I've seen people do where it's like you have appetizer one place, and then you have a main course at another restaurant. You have a dessert at another restaurant. Great. So you can kind of like, just switch it up. Like just be different. And then we have a date night guide.
We do have a date night guide.
So it's that was one of our first ebooks that we made. But it's still on our link in bio if you really need some guidance.
We can update some.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think we made that some time ago. Yeah. But the third one is being intentional. And so as we're talking about being spontaneous and being creative, you can think like, but where do I get the ideas? How do I figure this out? These things don't come naturally to me. That's where the intentionality comes in.
Yeah.
Because you have to take the time out and seek these things out, right? So TikTok, well, if it's still around, TikTok is a really good guide, but you have to, like, if you don't have TikTok, you have to download TikTok. You have to figure out what to look for. Then you have to save the thing. Then you have to make the reservation. Then you have to do research on what the idea or activity is you want to do. Entail, right? So it's not just, here, girl, happy Valentine's Day, or here, guy, I'm about to bust it wide open. It's like I'm taking the time out to really make this special for you. And that is where the romance comes in, and the appreciation comes in, and the feeling loved comes in.
And then also, I'm going to use you as an example, right? So I know Dapo's birthday would have passed by the time this episode drops, right? But there was something that you said, like you were thinking of ideas for his birthday, and you said there were certain things that he said.
Yes.
Right? So like that is also being intentional, because like when you're listening to your partner, right? So it's not even like, oh, Dapo's saying, oh, I want you to do this for me. Right. It's just something that he said he expressed that he wanted to
do. Thinking, and then also thinking of him, right? Like, because in my mind, I'm like, oh, I would love to do a staycation. And we talked about it. But I'm like, he hates staycations.
Want to do that.
You know? And so I'm like, I would be doing it for myself, because because I didn't tell y'all, but he surprised me with a birthday trip.
Oh, yeah, y'all. So remember when we was talking about the birthdays and what we was going to do for the birthday plans? This one. Show did. He
came through, y'all. And had my life, shawty.
Show did.
He was doing it up in Cabo, shawty.
Yes, y'all was.
But no, he surprised me with a trip to Cabo. So that is... that's romance on a big scale.
Hello.
Everybody can't do that, but I bless God for him. Thank God for him. And I loved it. Had a great time of my life. Look, one thing about birthday Memmy linked up with vacation daps. Those are two different people, okay? And it is
who are they?
Very problematic. Okay.
You get them two link up.
I'm telling you, vacation daps and birthday Memmy, dangerous combination. Okay. So we always have such a good time when we do stuff like that. But I'm like, oh, I gotta go hard for his birthday. His birthday is just a month after mine. And I'm like, I gotta go hard for his birthday. But I'm just like, all the things that I can do in this time limit. I'm like, okay, we can go to DC, get a hotel. And he don't like that. Thanks. You know, but that's, again, intentionality. Like, I'm doing it. What's the reason that you're doing this thing?
What's the reason behind
Because
it?
the whole reason for me to celebrate his birthday is for him to feel loved, for him to feel celebrated, for him to feel appreciated. And I just asked him, like, straight up, like, baby, I was thinking about doing a staycation. Like, I know you would go if I do it, but would you actually enjoy it? Would you like it? And he was like,
for being honest here,
I like coming home at the end of the day, especially if I'm just down the street. Like, I just want to be in my bed. And he was like, there's not really, like, we've lived here majority of our lives. So he's just like, how much? Like, I'm like, baby, I can find stuff. I'm good at research. Like, I find something that's fun. But he's just like,
that's okay.
Yeah. So making sure that what I'm doing to celebrate him is something that
he wants.
Yeah,
that's good.
Like giving people gifts or giving people things or experiences that they will actually enjoy.
Right. And last but not least, we got take risks. Right? And so we don't mean, again, you haven't cooked a day in your life and then today's a day you just want to
burn the house down. I'm going to have to make ayamache.
Lord.
Sorry.
Lord. First of all, I ain't even done that shit. I'm not doing that. You gonna bleach the oil.
Yeah, I tried to bleach the oil. Ended up with a fire extinguisher.
Some African dishes, it just take a lot. And that dish right there is just
what I do. Started calling the ayamache lady, like, hello.
Can I place an order?
Can I have a half pan, please?
I'm gonna put this to the side. This risk was too great.
No, I'm gonna burn the house down. Legit.
Yeah,
it was crazy.
Yeah, it's actually crazy. So you never cooked a day in your life.
Yeah.
This is not the time to really bust out the 3-course meal or whatever, right? Like, that's not what we mean. When we say take risks, we just mean, like, step out your comfort zone, right? Like, you might be a person that's like, oh yeah, I can figure out that we can go to a different type of restaurant, but like, maybe you want to try something different, completely different. Like, there's a food component, but maybe you're centering the day around an experience rather than the food being the experience.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So take
I like
risks.
that. Step out your comfort zone. I feel like that's the perfect way to say it. Like, do something different. Do something that like we said, like, that you would both enjoy, but something that's not normal. Something that's that can be a great memory for you too.
Right. Absolutely. So yeah, just something short and sweet. Yeah. So be spontaneous, be creative, be intentional, take risks. I mean, what else you got for us?
That's all I got.
That's all you got?
Be out there and love up on each other, y'all. Love up on each other. This is the season. It is lover season. So please, 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 please take the time. I know life is busy. I know y'all be out there fighting for your lives because we all are.
We are.
We all are. But fight for your marriage just as hard.
Come on now.
So love up on each other, y'all.
Romance is not dead, y'all.
Y'all trying to kill it.
Y'all trying to kill it.
Y'all trying to kill it. But you ain't got to.
You don't got to. So there has been another episode from Chats from the Peak. We want you to make sure that you click the link in, not the link in bio, but we want you to subscribe. We want you to follow. We want you to comment. All of the things. Share this with your friends. Yep. And join our Peak Secret community. This has been another episode from Chats from the Peak.
Bye.